Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Inferno Cast, episode 064. I am Fox, host of the podcast and of YouTube's Inferno Fox Gaming channel. Inferno Fox Gaming has content regarding RPGs, Nintendo, and retro gaming, and it is here on YouTube as well as the Inferno Cast. Also on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Friendly reminder to moderate video game playing, touch grass, and help your partner, parents, or roommates around the house. So we have a smaller number of individuals with us here, but smaller sometimes can be better. And we've got a fun special episode to sort of commemorate that. Joining us is my partner and partner in crime, Jamie Owls 87. Jamie Owls, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here talking about video games that I know and just listening about video games I don't know.
Absolutely. And to the end of both the games that you know and don't know, Jamie Owls is going to be joining me on a new video publishing Friday, games that we are playing, both of us. So it's a good opportunity for her to check out and hear me gab again about all these games that I'm playing. But great opportunity for me to see all the games that she's playing. We don't have the same tastes, and in a lot of ways, it helps to broaden each of our respective horizons. Also joining us is Stormrosesky of the Twitch and YouTube channels of Stormrosesky. Storm, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And always great to have you. Any fun videos you got coming up, thinking of doing on your YouTube?
Not that I have up my sleeve. Kind of have taken a little break from YouTube. I do need to stream some more gameplay. I realize it's been several months, but I've had some little shorts come up that I've put up there, like us emoting in the back of a truck in Fortnite and
Yeah.
that kind of fun thing I'm trying to share more of. Some of the other things may have to wait until the summer or end of semester because school is school and that work is very tiring and zaps a lot of creative whatever. So, yes, that's the long and short of it. Maybe soon, but not currently do I have anything planned.
Gotcha. No worries. And when you do publish new content, we will make sure to let our audience know first. And if you want to get a head start on that, make sure you check out Storm Rose Sky and you subscribe both on YouTube and Twitch. Also, another YouTube personality here is Jason the 13th of the YouTube channel. Jason the 13th. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. And just a reminder, get out there and touch the grass for the next week or two before it's covered in white stuff.
Yes, if you're in the Chicagoland area like us here, well, most of us, we want to try and enjoy that before the awful,
Yes,
awful white
Storm
stuff
got to
comes.
see a lot of that white stuff already.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we've already had a snow day for school like
Nice.
a week ago, and now the snow is mostly gone.
Yay.
But yeah, yeah, our
Love the
first snow
snow.
day.
My gosh, that's so crazy. And just a brief shout out for our missing crew members. That's Hillbilly Hardicus. He's a good friend and resident Hill Slut. We also have Astrimedes, developer and co-owner of Second Place Games. And last and certainly not least, Simbu Darkfang. He's the host of live streaming video games gameplay on the Scurry Face channel on Twitch. Make sure that you check out his live broadcasts of WWE 2K24 that are Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time. He just had a really special collaboration that just this past Sunday that he had a couple hundred individuals on that. It was a very, very popular, very, very busy broadcast, and Simbu has really high energy announcing, and it was a lot of fun. Make sure that you check that out again, Scurryface on Twitch. But today, with a smaller, more intimate crew here, we're going to be just having like a wild card special, talking anything and everything video game related, sort of off the cuff. And it's going to be sort of an opportunity to kind of discuss, what's happening for us in the video game world, real personal level. And to that end, we're going to have Storm start us off here, and it really caught me by surprise. We talked about it a little bit before the start of the podcast. Really, almost controversial. Storm,
Hmm.
tell us about your experience with Animal Crossing.
Well, as you all know, I have several thousand hours played on Animal Crossing on both my Switches. On well, I say both my Switches, my husband's Switch and my Switch. Both are several thousand hours. As of last week, I've decided to give Animal Crossing a retire it, so to speak. It all happened because, well, things in our world here in the US are just a little crazy, and given the job that I have, I'm a little worried about the state of our union for the job that I have. So anxiety has been heightened, and I found myself worrying about things in the game that I never worried about. I didn't care, like I had two islands that are different for reasons. All of a sudden I had to have everything matched for their clothing wise. I had to have make sure both characters had the same DIYs and oh my God, I didn't get this item over here. I need to get this item over here and spent last weekend like wasted time that I should have been doing other things, played other things, read other books where in the 4 years that I've played Animal Crossing, these things have never ever bothered me, and all of a sudden they did. So I have turned on the beautification ordinance, which I had no idea would resolve the one issue that kept me coming back to it was that if you wanted to take a break for 7 days, you had to at least touch your island in those 7 days, otherwise you would get roaches in your house. No longer have to worry about that because the beautification ordinance, you don't get roaches. Your flowers automatically get watered and less weeds grow. But I did some terraforming and blocked off all the flowers in certain areas, so I shouldn't have a whole bunch of flowers growing. The worst that's going to happen is weeds to pull if I decide to ever open it again. But
Yeah, I didn't know about those either, and I'm sure since I haven't touched the game in like half a year or more,
oh
that
God.
I've got the roaches,
Yeah,
the
we're out there
island's probably
too.
covered with weeds, the flowers have probably all grown rampant on the island.
Yep. Oh God, for sure. And your villagers are going to be mad at you and
Yep,
will
they're
Yeah.
all
have
gonna want to leave.
yeah, have snarky comments for, why they're not there.
Mhm.
Um, it's dealing with anything like anxiety. I have anxiety issues and social anxiety and my own personal whatever, ADHD and anxiety kind of go hand in hand. So seeing it's like the game wasn't fun. I was in tears because oh my God, these things don't match. And I made myself late for work one day and I can't do that. So I decided that it needed to stop. So once I looked up, what can I do to not get the roaches? Because I don't want to be tied to the game. And on top of that, I've finally hit my boredom with Animal Crossing. There, a new update would be great, but
Mhm.
I know nothing is going to happen because the new Switch is coming out. So if they have a new game, then maybe I'll revisit Animal Crossing then. But for now, I'm retiring it. I did text a friend of mine who runs a pretty big Facebook group, and I just let her know that I didn't leave the group. I'm still there, but I unfollowed it, and she used to have a notification through Facebook Messenger for when she would open her Treasure Island. She would just put the link in there. Like I had to hide everything Animal Crossing related to get out of the loop that I was in. And do I miss it right now? Not really, because I think I just got super bored with it. And the only thing that kept me going back was the roach thing. And now that I don't have to worry about the roaches, it's like, oh well, if I have some weeds to pull, I have some weeds to pull, but meh, I'm just, ready for something new and it had to cut the cord. But it was really bad last week and just very so it's interesting how mental health things will show themselves up, and it may be in a video game and maybe it helps to take a break from said video game because now I can play other things and not worry about it.
And it's also a good opportunity to know that next year the Hello Kitty game comes out that's kind of similar to Animal Crossing that you can get into.
Yes, and there's also Dreamlight Valley that I haven't
Yes.
touched.
Yep,
Yep.
that's another one that I'm playing too.
And
Yeah, and oh, go
oh,
ahead,
go
Storm.
ahead.
Sorry.
Those Dreamlight Valley doesn't seem like it needs your like demands your attention like the
No.
Animal Crossing thing does, where you have to play every day, otherwise you get the weeds or like little maintenance things to the game that are just annoying that I wish you
Yeah,
didn't have to worry about.
it's not as bad, although you get like the mushrooms or the thorns growing again, but it's nothing like Animal Crossing where if you haven't played for like a month, then you have to like clean up everything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is a good opportunity to have a small discussion just about the ability to unhook yourself from a game, to be able to quit something that because a lot of times these games and everything can become like daily habits. I know that
Hmm.
was the case with myself with stuff like Clash of Clans when that was a thing, and then my experience with what you're talking about, Storm, is with Final Fantasy Record Keeper, also a mobile game. And the problem with that game is that I'm a huge classic, like 16-bit Final Fantasy fan, and that's what the game is. And it's like, oh, hey, here's Final Fantasies 1 through 15, except all the characters are 16-bit sprites, and it's got all the music, and it's got all the levels, and the battles are good, and it's the same battle system from like Final Fantasy from the Super Nintendo Final Fantasies. Oh, and here's a predatory gotcha system to be able to try and pick up some of the best relics and stuff for these characters. Are you a fan of these specific characters? You're not if you don't pick these up. And it was a thing to where I every day it refreshed. I'd always have to check it, do the battles every week. It would have new content for me to do. And it's just a thing that's like, okay, and I like, it took me a good while, 6 years, 6 years of playing the damn game, but I did quit. I stopped, which was funny because then a year later they discontinued it in the United States. But
Hey,
yeah,
at least you quit it before they discontinued it, because if you were still playing hardcore when they go to discontinue it, then you'd have been really upset.
Yeah, it
yes.
would have hurt more.
Yep.
And at least with Animal Crossing, you've just spent a lot of time. For me, mine was time and money because again, idiot when it comes to the Final Fantasy stuff. So
Yes, but I'm sure Storm shares my problem with another game that's that way. Kind of a little thing that I don't know if anyone knows this little Fortnite game or not,
Hmm.
that I probably have sunk in way,
Oh
way
God.
too much money on.
Yeah, the last 2 months, oh my God. Let's not talk about, it's
Oh,
like, well,
I feel your pain. I feel your
I've had to
pain.
I yell at a lot of children during my day to justify this. No. Yeah, the last couple of months they've gotten me.
Yeah, they've gotten me
So
with a few things too.
I just in the last like October, November, were really bad. We're really
Yep.
bad.
and
Yeah,
that's
no.
and for me, that's part of the reason why I haven't played Fork Knife as much with you guys
Yeah.
because of the fear of being a time sink. But like the big re
Mhm.
one big reason is kind of what Storm was alluding to. Like, okay, I've invested so much time in like this particular game. I'm setting aside other games like and
Mhm.
that was my story when I was in my 20s in the aughts where like I'm doing all of these multiplayer games with friends and everything, but so many great games were dropping at that time and I totally missed the boat on them and I only just made up been making up on that in the last 5 years. So yeah, BioShock, Batman, Arkham Asylum, like all those kind of games in the aughts. Yeah, I've only just played in the last 5 years because I spent my 20s and the aughts doing the multiplayer games. So yeah, Jason, I'm blaming you, especially your younger brother and
I
the
do
rest of our
think
group.
I do think it's good to take a long break from some of those games because I felt that way with The Sims. For a while there, I played a lot of Sims and I I got like with Stormrose, I started to get like really bored with it and I decided, there's other games I can invest my time into. And I did that and started with Dreamlight Valley, which was something different, Animal Crossing, and recently I started thinking about The Sims again, and I'm just thinking, you know what? Maybe I could get back into it, maybe make new characters. So if you just take a long break from it, you should get that desire to play again. You just don't want to play something to force it, because then there's no fun in that.
Yeah, and this is exactly that. This is a hobby. We're meant to have fun. And if you're not having fun with a video game, stop playing
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes.
video game.
Yep.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, I'm pointing at you, our listener. If you're not having fun with the game, stop playing the game. These are games. Have fun with the games.
And it does not make you any less of a fucking gamer to quit a video game.
No,
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not
it
at
No
all.
doesn't.
gate, there is no gatekeeping
No,
on that.
not at all.
You
It
do
doesn't matter.
not have
Like
to finish.
especially the fact that like 2/3 of all gamers are play only Call of Duty or FIFA or Madden or Minecraft or Roblox. That's it. Like 2/3 of gamers just play those. So don't tell me that like, oh, if I don't like this one game, I'm gonna quit and then I'll play something different that you're not a gamer. Come on.
Yep.
We're just all
Yes.
having fun and having a good time.
Exactly. And since that's why I had to stop Animal Crossing, I no longer enjoyed it. It was again collecting things just to have them. And I'm like, why am I doing this?
And
Why? I've not
hey,
needed to.
and after taking a little bit of a break, you may come back all fresh and enjoy it again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, like right now, I'm still in the fresh. I don't want to, and thinking
Right,
about it, I'm
right,
like,
right.
maybe months from now, I might pick it up. But until then, I have to replace the Joy-Cons on my Switch anyway. Not going to get started on Nintendo's poor design in their Joy-Cons, which it better be better in the new Switch
Oh yeah.
because
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
this is ridiculous. But
Well, maybe
there
in a
are
few
other
months
things.
that's when Nintendo's going to announce the new system and a launch title of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's what they're waiting for. And quite honestly, the Animal Crossing community needs it because there's not been an update in 2 or 3 years. And,
Yes.
it's kind of lame that game has made them so much money. However, it's also made them so much money because of the multiple copies of it, because of all the people that have tons of treasure islands. That is each a copy that one person has bought to run it. So if somebody has 61 Treasure Island still streaming on Twitch, that's 61 copies of Animal Crossing. So their numbers are a little skewed,
Yeah, and I got to think that
but
Nintendo never meant Animal Crossing New Horizons to be a live service game. So the idea
I
that there would be continuous content, wasn't on the cards. Now, their mobile game most likely was meant to be that up until, of course, they ended that too.
yep. I highly doubt it. Nintendo's always releasing updates that also fix the bot issue because they're not stupid. The only way to get those treasure islands going are now through the old switches that could be modded or made
Hmm.
modifications to. And that was like the first generation switches. We only have one of those left uh in our house. So like if I wanted to sell it, I could sell the old Switch for about the price of a new one because they're still in demand for those. But Nintendo also releases updates, and if they catch you with one of those Switches or whatever, a couple of people have had their Switches banned from Nintendo, like your Nintendo account is banned and whatnot. And so then your islands are basically bricks or your Switches are bricks then. So it is a gamble to do that, but I think that's why some of their sales, why it looks so high, how many numbers, units or whatever Animal Crossing they sold, why it's so popular because of all those
And
treasure islands.
the big reason, of course, being the pandemic, that it was the
Yes,
perfect game at the
yes,
perfect time.
Oh
Like
yeah. Mhm.
I think that was like
absolutely.
the biggest reason, and then everything else that you have said, and then some mitigated the increase
Yep,
of sales. And
yep.
honestly, I mean, with all of its quirks and qualms and issues, it's a good game.
It still is. It really is. There are some quality of life issues that I hope they have fixed for the next generation of Animal Crossing, and I'm sure they have. And positive they'll have learned from their experience with this, and I wonder if we'll ever get to travel to somebody else's island again or visit a new location, and probably not. I imagine Nintendo changing some of the formatting to, exclude that because I've heard the complaints of getting banned and all of that jazz. So who
Yeah.
knows? But it's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, no, I was just gonna say that I agree with you. I see the how Nintendo, the greatest selling Pokemon game is also their worst technically, and that's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So if Nintendo's going to learn a lesson, that's it's not going to be to provide the most amount of quality of life stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna focus that. No, not even Zelda,
Should,
not even Zelda,
I
because
was
I'm
gonna
thinking
say,
of
should
Echoes of Wisdom with
should I
how
go into technicalities? How Pokemon is made by their own little company outside of like Nintendo?
it's still a Nintendo property.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
but
Game
Nintendo
Freak
won't
and
learn
all
from
that.
that because it's separate.
But it's still a Nintendo property, and it's a Nintendo game. Nintendo's the one that's suing Pal World for
Yeah,
infringement
that
of a Pokemon and
they're trying
Nintendo,
everything they can to
and they'll
kill that
succeed.
game.
The,
Maybe.
nope, but Nintendo has a very, very, very high win ratio when it comes to the courtroom. They only bring suits that they know they can win, which is interesting because this suit against Pal World, Nintendo only wants like $50,000 in damages. That's it.
Huh.
That's all. It's
Oh,
essentially like 5 million yen or something. It's like $50,000
right.
in
Yeah,
damages.
yeah, they'll win that one.
It, oh, and one little thing to completely stop the sale of Pow World completely.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, that second caveat. What gets me is I feel like Nintendo's kind of being stupid there because what they should have done is the fine and then a majority stake ownership or a partial stake ownership because keep the game selling. Now Nintendo's
Yeah,
on the
then make
table.
money off of it.
Yep, and get royalties and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just shutting it down to me, it feels stupid and petty, especially because that patent that was infringed upon was filed in 2021. In fact, a couple months after Pal World was officially revealed. So when a game is being advertised as Pokemon with guns, Power World themselves didn't actually do that, but that's how it got on the hype train. Yeah, hearing the Pokemon thing, being thrown around. Yeah, that's there's a reason why Nintendo is the Disney of video games, and and I'm not saying that in a good way.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yep. Love Disney products. The company is a whole different story.
Yep,
Because it
yep,
is a corporation.
yep,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
corporations are not your friends.
Yep.
Exactly.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about what I've got going on, and that is my mighty quest for a the platinum trophy for the game that I'm currently playing, and that is Ease 10 Nordics. And it's funny, this is actually the going to be the second platinum trophy for an Ease game that I'm playing, and I'm about 88% of the way there. Um, I've actually already played through it once, and now I'm doing the replay in like the nightmare difficulty. It's like the second hardest, but it's a new game plus, and you get to take all of your previous stats, accessories, not the equipment, but like there's like this sphere grid thing where you put things on a node. You take all that with you. So yeah, the difficulty is ramped up, but when you're level 99 and you have a strength of 1,000, when you normally start with like 20, yeah, the first half of the game where I'm at for replaying it is like I'm cruising. But one of the trophies is you got to get to the end of the game on nightmare difficulty, so that's why I'm replaying it again. Oh, and pick up a couple like one or two missable quests that for some reason I have no idea how I missed. So I did this with Ease 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. Doing this with Ease 10. I love the story with Ease 10, and it's kind of like how Ease 8 is, although the kind of what Storm was mentioning with a lot of the darkness and everything like that really going on right now. I really felt that this Ease Nordics really sort of spoke to me about that because it's about like fighting that sense of feeling that like there's nothing that you can do in life or there's nothing you can do to improve things and stuff like that. And like, yeah, maybe that might be the case, but at the same time, there's always something that you can do. There's always some way to make some sort of positive impact, and even just wanting to do that and having that feeling sometimes is enough to maybe motivate somebody else. So like. Oh, I like that message. Great game. Probably, I would say, probably my third favorite Ease game, and this is the 10th one that I've played. So it's quite the quest. I'm very close to getting the platinum, but at the same time, I'm only chapter 4 of 10 on my replay through. The beauty is I can skip through scenes and just march right through most of the land battles. So it's cool. Um,
Now, what real quick, what's interesting is I know a couple other people that have kind of paid more attention to trophies, but I have never been one to watch the trophies on any game or be like, "Ooh, I really want to like get all the trophies for things." So,
that's right. You
it,
really haven't.
no,
I- I'm normally not, but like I did that for 8, and then me and Simbu and then my ex at the time, we got the one for Rock Band 2, and apparently that's like the top 3 hardest platinums to get ever is the one for Rock
dang.
Band 2. So I'm pretty proud that we got that. So I think we talked about that on a previous episode. So
Oh, probably.
make sure, friends, that you're listening and signed up for the Inferno cast because we talk about a lot of stuff with games. And make sure to let us know in the comments section below your experience, not only trying to like platinum hunt trophy, but also with Animal Crossing and quitting games and whatnot. But speaking of not quitting games, Jamie Owls, tell us about your experience with a certain game that you just finished.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the most recent game that I completed, which is Life is Strange Double Exposure. And I just finished it yesterday as we speak. For those of you who don't know, Life is Strange Double Exposure is the sequel to the first game, same title, and the main character is named Max Caulfield. So this game takes place 10 years after the events of the first one. So Max is now an adult. I believe the first game she was 18 in high school, and then this one she is 28, and where she works is called Calvin University, where she's a photographer in residence. So she's a teacher there. And I don't want to give away too much because I know this game is fairly new and there's people out there who may have not played it yet, so I'm trying to avoid all spoilers. So the first game, Max has powers to where she can rewind time. And after the events of the first game, there was two endings, whether you save Chloe or you save the town. The beginning of the second game, when you kind of go through the what I call the tutorial, you get used to your character and the movements in the controls, it would ask you the which option did you choose from the last game that you played. So you just have to make a selection there, and then it proceeds with the story of how you decided to based on like what happened the last game. So Max, she has decided to not use her powers after what happened the first events because it not only messed up life is how she stated, but it's just she knows how dangerous it could be. There was a traumatic event that happened in the second game that made her experience her powers coming back. So this particular incident that happened brought back a lot of memories and her powers just came back. And so there's a mystery that goes on in this game. You have to kind of figure out what's going on. There's brand new characters in the game, which is cool. Kind of mentions the characters from the last name a little bit, but that happens later on in the game. And based on the ending, um, again, try not to share spoilers, but based on it looks like there's gonna be another Life is Strange game with Max in it. So it looks like they're gonna be continuing on with the story. So I think they're gonna make it a trilogy. Or I don't know, whether they make another like a fourth one, but it's really good. I had a lot of fun. It wasn't a very long game. I think maybe um if I have to take a guess, I didn't look into it. If I had to take a guess, and I would say it's probably 6 hours long, but it depends on like how long you make it because there's, different levels to where you can just take your time, kind of explore, look at stuff. You can even listen in people's conversations. So you can make it long like that, but I think I finished this game within a week because it wasn't very long. And I don't play video games every single day like some people do, but I played it really quickly. So it was a lot of fun and I was really excited to play this. So now I'm gonna have to wait maybe 5 years for the third Max Caulfield story.
Ah, but I have a question now.
Sure.
So
Uh-oh.
you played it through and you finished it, but you had to choose an option at the beginning of the game. Are you gonna go play it through it again with the other option?
I think I will. I think I will. I figured to give it some time before I replay it again because that's what's fun about these games. You play it once and then you could play it again to make it seem like a brand new game.
Nice.
Now, does it seem like the first Life is Strange was, did that feel longer to you? Because it kind of felt longer to me when you played
I
it.
think, yeah, now that you mention it, it was longer. There's a lot
Because
more.
this one, like, it usually takes you a while to play through games, and you zoomed through this.
I did. I think the first one had different levels. This one only had five.
Yeah, 5 chapters.
Five chapters, yeah. But the
Because
third
that's what the
one,
first one had.
yeah, because I think the first one, I think the levels were a little bit longer versus the one in Double Exposure.
That makes sense. Yeah, so overall, if you had to rank them from best, their most favorite to least favorite on all the Life is Strange games, go.
Oh God. I enjoy them all. They each have their own like story and emotions, but the one that really uh I think the second one with the two boys, I think that one was probably the most heart-wrenching one. And I know that game, there's four different endings to that, and it's just yeah, I think that one probably had like the saddest story. So that one to me is probably like one of my favorites.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely really good games for you to be able to play, just because the whole choose your own adventure, but
Yeah.
not. It almost reminds me of like the visual novels, although the visual novels feel
Yes.
like you get put in a literal box, and the box being the novel that you're a part of. But this is different because you are what it's almost like watching a TV show that you're active in versus the visual novel reading a book. So
Yeah, so this one it seemed like there was a lot more of like watching versus playing, and there was I forgot what it's called where you play as Chloe for a little bit before the storm, and that one seemed to me where it was a lot of scenics versus actual gameplay.
I noticed that too.
So yeah, for the like all of them, there are like a lot of scenic games, but yeah, this one seemed to have a lot like levels to where you're watching more versus playing.
That makes sense. Yeah, because there's a lot of the Max's power from the first one required the player to have a more active role into it, whereas that's not as much the case with double exposure, it looked like.
Yeah, there is it's it's kind of hard for me to not spoil, but I
Hmm.
have a theory of how they're gonna make the third one. And you and I talked about it the other day, but I have a feeling that they might have all characters in one game, but we'll see. We'll see how the story goes.
Kind of wrap every game together into a
Yeah.
common world.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
That's
don't want to give too much because I don't want to get hated for spoiling.
spoiling.
Get
Yes.
Yes. No
back
spoilers,
to the
no,
show.
but so Jason, we were talking about before the podcast about some of the games that you're playing, and you have fallen down the Legend of Zelda hole, as it were.
Again.
Um, Specifically, tell us how you got back into Zelda, both the new release as well as somebody's influence, and let us know how it compares to another previous Zelda game.
So the irony in all of this is that my nephew kind of got burnt out on Roblox finally. He
Oh,
is playing a
God.
lot less Roblox, and he went back to Tears of the Kingdom to continue playing. And his first thing to do was to go get all the outfits. So that was like what he was working on. And he kept asking me, like, do you have this? Do you have this? I'm like, no, no, no. Because I kind of set Tears of the Kingdom aside and never got back to it. So yeah, on top of playing Echoes of Wisdom, which I'm a little over halfway through it, and I'm got to go back to that. But yeah, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom because of my nephew and getting back into that again.
Nice.
It, it, it is hilarious because if you actually go back to my little bitty channel and actually go back to the beginning where all of the Zelda playthrough is, I basically was right where I left off in the gameplay there. So I haven't gotten too much further in the actual story, but I've done a lot more exploring, a lot more shrines.
Nice.
Mm.
Excellent. Now,
Hmm.
how does your experience with Tears of the Kingdom feel compared to Breath of the Wild?
Oh, it's been a while since I played Breath of the Wild. I know Breath of the Wild, I don't think, I can't say I 100% did the game, but I did complete all the shrines and I did all the main story and everything. And I think I got like all the outfits and stuff there too. But Tears of the Kingdom, you know, in a lot of the ways it's similar, and but a lot of the ways it's a lot more. It feels like there's so much more to the game because they added the. I know the Sky World isn't that big, but they still added the Sky World, and then you have a whole second map underneath in the depths. So that's a whole new area to explore and like a whole new world. And I know we were talking the one time, and you said there's another level of the caves, and I never thought the cave system was a separate world than
Yeah,
the top world.
and
But
a lot of people don't like think of that. They don't ever think of the fact that Breath of the Wild didn't have like any cave
no,
whatsoever. It
no,
was just
they had caves, but
it wasn't
not nearly
anything.
like
It was like
this.
barely anything. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, it was just the overworld. And
Right.
that's
Yep.
obviously is still in there because it's in the same world. But then you've got the caves in the overworld, and there are a crud ton of these caves.
Yes.
And then the depths, which of course is the overworld, except like it feels like
It's
hard mode.
underground. Which, like I said, it's a whole second world. So it's like having the game map two times, and you're exploring it in two different worlds.
Gosh.
So I have gotten back into it, and I'm actually enjoying it again. So
But
that
what do I have to do to sell you to get back to playing Echoes of Wisdom?
Not a whole lot because I was actually enjoying Echoes of Wisdom, but I tried to get my nephew to play Echoes of Wisdom. He played a little bit of it, but he wasn't enjoying it as much as Tears of the Kingdom. And I think it's because in Tears of the Kingdom, he was on that hunt. Like, I've got to go get like the Midna helmet, or I've got to go get like the Dark Link suit, and he was working for tasks to get him back like into it. Where Echoes of Wisdom, you really don't have too many tasks to go do. So I don't think he was quite enjoying that as much, but I was enjoying Echoes of Wisdom, trying to figure out all the different echoes to use for different puzzles and everything.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's probably one of the least restrictive 2D Zelda games.
Oh my
May-
gosh, yeah.
Maybe Link Between Worlds is probably like the second least restrictive, but by far because it's a 2D Zelda, and those are known to be, pretty restrictive. Okay, maybe the exception to that is the first Zelda game, though you're kind of stuck. Yeah, you can do the first three levels in any order, but you can't get to four without a certain item. You can't do well, okay, I'm kind
And
of
if
contradicting
if
myself.
anyone's seen it or found it right away in Echoes of Wisdom, right at the beginning of the game, you get a little spider, and that spider is so broken, it lets you pretty much go everywhere and anywhere throughout the whole map.
I think that's the point, though. It's to give you that feeling like, oh my gosh, look at me. I can get
Yeah,
outside
like
of the
I can
map,
explore everything.
and it's a fun feeling, especially if you have played like the old school Zelda
Yep.
games like you and I have.
Yeah, where it's more a little bit more puzzles to get through the different like worlds, and almost with the storyline was almost a straight shot.
Yeah, at least with this one, there's a bit Echoes of Wisdom. There's a bit of nuance and a few interesting curves overall. I won't ruin it because I've finished it, but um, let's hear from Storm, and she's still playing The Devil in Me. Storm, before we started recording, you had mentioned that you're about 75% of the way and that you haven't finished it. What was some of the reasoning why you haven't finished that yet, just overall, and your general thoughts about the game?
You know, while oh, blah blah blah. Sorry. Why I haven't finished it quite yet, and I have plans to finish it, but right now, those type of games, I'm a big chicken. Okay. I love horror movies and I
Okay,
love the
you've
genre.
seen Terrorizer 3. I'm predicating you saying you're a big chicken when you've seen Terrifier or Terrorizer 3.
I've not seen Terrifier 3 yet.
Oh, I thought you have, but you've
That
seen one and two.
I've seen 1 and 2 and I've got to check out his other stuff. See, I love horror movies, but having control over the character in the game, it stresses me out like nothing else, and I would rather watch someone else go through the experience. Like if Jamie Owls and I were playing, I would much rather watch her play because she's handling the stress of that person for me, and
Yeah.
I'm just in the audience. Okay, actually having to do it, I have to do it in little bits by little bits, and if I get through a chapter, I'm like, ooh, I'm good. Ooh, I'm
Mhm.
good because oh my God, the stress. And it's a different kind of stress than, my stress over Animal Crossing, which was a mental thing. This is a different kind of like, oh my God. Um, I really am enjoying it, but it is that I don't know, yeah, I'm a chicken shit when it comes to having to control the person through it. I could watch these movies and be just fine, and I'm known for turning on Friday the 13th or Scream and falling asleep. So, like, they're that kind of comfort food, if you will. But oh my goodness.
A
Um,
Sometimes
little
when
different experience, huh?
yes.
sometimes when I'm playing a horror game, I ask myself, why do I do this to myself?
See, that's just
But
it.
it's like
Why
I want to keep playing.
I know.
Especially if you have a partner that likes to scare you when in the middle of some of these horror games, right, Jamie Owls?
And that's why I lock you in your room.
I don't blame you. Um, I'm where am I? I just got what's his name? the dude to the lighthouse, depending on, who you still have alive. I have, what's his name? Kyle? Is it Kyle?
Don't
I don't
remember the
remember.
names.
I don't remember what all I can say is the black dude. I don't remember his name. I have him still alive and some other girl trying to get out, and they're the only two survivors at this point. So, there's a thing you have to do with the breathing, and you have to hit the X button every time the
Oh, yep.
the the heartbeat to like hold your breath. Do you, I've killed people or had them die because I missed it by just a hair, and it like turns it on and all of a sudden he finds you. It's fast, like the game itself is fascinating, though. I enjoy their design and all the little not Easter eggs, the hidden little things that they have, or the story that they've made around the victims that have visited this place, and a little odd things that you find is really neat. And it is relatively easy gameplay. There's nothing as far as controls go. There's nothing, I'm not having to press two or three buttons and to to shoot a gun or whatnot. It's pretty straightforward. It gets a little glitchy at times, like I'm pressing the X button to go up a ladder and you just kind of stand there. But other than that, YouTube has been great help. Other people who have recorded things because I got stuck in this one area going to the lighthouse and I was like, well, how the hell do I get up there? And thankfully to other people for sharing their gameplay. And
Nice.
that helped me be not as afraid sitting watching someone else because, okay, I'm going through it with you, which I know there's a play with a friend option and just wait until I make my husband go through one of these with me. We could go through this together,
He's
Hmm.
probably like, no.
you know? Well, that's a whole different story. He was playing Fortnite. He just got into Fortnite the other day. Or again, right? And the other day he was playing a solo mode and I just told him, "Oh my God, you are stressing me out." And all he could do was laugh and said, "Good." It's like, no, no, no. The things he was doing were just stressing me the hell out. I was like, "Oh my God, don't do that. Why are you doing that? Why are you making so much noise?" Ugh, just yeah, yeah. So that's
I have done that with my brother, watching him play, and I'm going, go towards the fighting. And he's just sitting there like looting, and I'm like, go, go.
uh-huh.
Like,
Hmm.
why aren't you going?
We're not going to have a conversation on mobsters gameplay styles here, Jason.
Oh
We're
no,
not doing that.
we don't need to get into that. I was just agreeing with Storm about the whole watching somebody and going, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing this?
Yes.
Don't forget to slide.
You
Oh,
don't, yeah, don't forget the slide.
that I'm saving that for our future episodes.
Yes.
I have stories.
Gosh.
But
Oh.
yes. Anyway, the Dark Anthology, it's a lot of fun. I will get through it. It's just taking me a bit because I need to, I can write the stuff. I can write horror. I like scaring people with movies, but actually getting through the video game where you kind of feel ownership over the decisions more than when you're watching a movie, because there's still some of that disconnect. It is that ownership. You think that just like, yep, I got to take a little break from it. So I'll get I'll get through it eventually.
Yeah, you're
Though,
not on a time limit. It's
No.
nope.
just fun to hear your experiences.
Yep, and there may be Minecraft in my future because the husband wants to play Minecraft and he bought it for the PlayStation, and yes, so he wants me to try it and like we'll
It
see.
does get addicting.
We'll
I
see.
told him because he asked me about it, and I said, I will not touch Minecraft. I will not do it. It will not happen. I
Yeah.
I won't do it. I 100% absolutely refuse because of the fact that it's so addictive. And honestly, I feel a little old for it too. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, anyway, Devil in Me is good. I like the story it's based off of. They did a really good job, I
Oh
think.
yeah, the
So
storyline is really good with that one.
I do want to finish it, so I start the other one, Little Hope. But
Yeah, Little Hope was good too.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So the beginning of that is so funny.
Yeah, I can't wait.
There,
Um,
the first time I played that, I was thinking, what the hell did I do wrong?
A Little Hope, right?
Dying. Like what the what's going on? I didn't do anything.
And meanwhile, your idiot husband is over your shoulder watching everything happening and just laughing because it's just so freaking ridiculous.
Hmm.
God.
I can't wait.
Oh,
No.
Storm, you'll love it. Um, as we wrap things up, though, I will just have a general chat about a certain, not Smash Brothers. It's like the RC Cola of Smash Brothers, and that is multiverses. And just the fact that uh, Jason the 13th was just playing it the other day, and he was being Mr. Whale, spending over $200 on characters
Hey,
because he
no, I didn't
loves
spend
it.
200, maybe
He
30, but
he
not
loves
200.
it. No, what's crazy about multiverses? Actually, no, Jason 13th, tell us about your experience with it first.
So me and Simbu played it all the way back when it first released, and the two of us, we actually enjoyed it a lot. They definitely advertised it as a Smash Brothers game, and there is a lot of things different between it and Smash Brothers.
Hmm.
If it was
Hmm.
more like Smash Brothers, I would play it a lot more frequently than I do now. But what got
Hmm.
us talking to this topic is they just released my favorite DC character of all time, Raven. So I went on, I'm like, yeah, I have to get Raven for the game, even though I haven't played the game in a few months. And I'm like, now I need to play it for a while and actually play this like battle pass that they got this season.
Yeah, I just Googled and pulled up Raven on multiverses.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's your favorite character.
Oh yeah, she's
Yep,
definitely my favorite.
yep.
But
It's funny. Oh, sorry, did
Oh, I was gonna say, but like fighting wise, it does feel a lot like Smash Brothers when you're fighting. So of course you got like the little daily missions and stuff, and you can go online and fight with people, but you can only have up to 4 players, which isn't that bad, but you really can't you don't have like a party play unless like it's me, Simbu, Inferno Fox are all on at the same time and connect together. You really don't have a party play. It's not if if they would have opened it up like Smash Brothers where I could have Inferno Fox at my house and we play together, it would be a little better than
it doesn't have
than
local
it's.
multiplayer?
I don't think so because I don't remember
I don't think so.
being able to do that on local multiplayer.
That's that's
Now I have to
dumb.
do a quick Google if you're not already doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
says
doing
it
that
has
too because
local
I
play via couch co-op, but
Oh, okay, so maybe only 2 players can play together then.
that's it. Oh no, so
yeah,
there's a thing here from May 30th. Multiverses supports local multiplayer for up to 4 players, but this option is restricted to a versus mode. Well, that's
Oh,
fine. It's a
that's
versus
right.
mode.
That's right. You can only play in the versus mode, which does not count towards any battle pass. Does not basically like if you're getting XP through doing all the online play, any local play, you get no bonuses for playing that. It's literally just playing on its own. So, where their whole focus is like their battle pass, you would think they would do something, even if it was like a quarter of the XP you get from normal online stuff. You
Or,
know,
or
like
why not do a thing where a lot of the games have things where like if you quest on somebody else's like account, it only counts for that person's account. It doesn't count towards yours. Why wouldn't it just like count for just your thing? So like,
that, even that would make it better.
yeah, to me that's stupid.
So, like
But
I said, there's a lot of things I could see them still trying to improve over time.
and that begs the question because I saw something that Multiverses is going to have a 200 million or 250 million write down for WB games, and this is on on the same time. And remember, I think it was this year, Suicide Squad. That was another live service game because technically Multiverses is too
Yep.
technically with the battle passes. two of these live service things that are failing, and the fact that WB Games has, since Suicide Squad had bombed about 2 or 3 months after it, said they'll double down on live service games. So stuff like that on their gaming service, on top of just the whole media stuff. We're not even going to get into media stuff because like you got Batgirl, the Wile E. Coyote movie, all that the stuff, and
Hmm.
then David Laszlo being just a total douche nozzle. But like it just seems like WB is just like in general is like designed to fail. Though I've heard that a recent thing that I heard or saw is that they finally realized, okay, maybe we need to focus on what works, and what works is like the big three: Mortal Kombat, Hogwarts Legacy, and I forget what the third one was. Batman. That's it, and Batman. So they are working on a Hogwarts Legacy sequel, which duh, they better, because it was the best-selling game in 2023. One of the few times it outsold Call of Duty. And then Mortal Kombat only makes sense because like it's Mortal Kombat. It almost always sells because they're doing those games so well. And then as long as they don't make another atrocious uh horror like Suicide Squad, like and go back to its roots with with Batman Arkham Asylum, they're going to be in good shape.
What makes me sad about this is out of all the quote unquote Smash Brothers like games, I actually like 90% of the characters that WB has that they're throwing at this game
Like
that
LeBron,
uh,
you main LeBron, right?
no, he is not up there in my favorites, but they put Beetlejuice in the game. The Animaniacs are supposed to show up at some point, but uh I actually enjoy the WB one with all the characters, the Scooby-Doo characters, even a lot
Mhm.
of the DC characters. I enjoy it more than like I tried that Brawl Stars game. Didn't pan out, and I've only played it for a couple months and put it to the side, thankfully, because otherwise it has a bunch of its own microtransactions, and I would be another game that I'd want to spend money on, but I didn't care for it as much. I've seen the other one. Oh crap! Now I can't remember what the other one was that came out right before the WB one, the like Nickelodeon
Oh yeah,
one,
the
yeah,
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
yep, that one didn't hit big. I would have liked to play the PlayStation one, but
It
again,
was it
didn't
was
hit
so
big.
slippery feeling is what that was my thing when I tried All-Star Brawl. It had a lot of the good mechanics, and I think some of the creators of the Smash Brothers Brawl bit the Project M. I thought I heard some of the creators worked on Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, but it was very slick feeling and just felt very loose and slippery. As weird as that sounds, like you're doing your number two after a long night of drinking. Very loose and slippery feel. Like just not, not.
And I just have high hopes for WB's multiverses. So, maybe that's just the hope in me.
Just I don't know. I don't
And for
know.
anyone who's not viewing us through YouTube, Inferno Fox is playing with his little stuff and making him all depressed over here.
That's making me old. I am depressed just thinking about all this. Storm, what are your thoughts on multiverses with the time that you had with it?
You know, oh, very little bit of time a while ago. It was fun. There are some things that reminded me of Smash Brothers and other things that I wish were more like Smash Brothers.
Hmm.
So yeah, it felt very sti it still feels very stiff, where like Smash Brothers, it felt a lot smoother in your movements, where this is very, oh, not boxy, but you're kind of locked into a little bit of a movement area, or like it doesn't feel as smooth. The movements feel more jerky than, Smash Brothers did. So it's fun because I do enjoy some of the little characters and their little magical things that they could do, or their superpowers. But I played when they were first bringing Jason Voorhees into it.
Hmm.
Um, I did not do the battle pass because it just wasn't worth. I wasn't falling for the game. Like if I fell for the game, I would have, gotten the battle pass to get Jason. But you could guest play at him sometimes, and he
Yep.
was just so slow and
Oh
just
yeah, he
this.
is very slow tank.
Yeah, he's powerful, but holy moly, is he slow as snot. So, um, yeah, it was okay. Of all those brawler games, to me, Smash Brothers is still, besides
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's still the best. It's not, I know that I was just going to compare it to Mortal Kombat and then change my mind because it is a different kind of fighting game and not the same premise at all. So forget any part of that. Um, yeah, that's okay. I'm meh, I've honestly not played it in so long. So just because it's not bad and I would play if, hey, let's jump on and play a few rounds of it, I would join, Jason the 13th and Simbu. And if you wanted to play, I would, but I don't seek it out anymore. I used to try to get the daily things done, and
Hmm.
then I just fell off of it. And meh, if I play it again, I play it again. If not, I have no money sunk into it, so it's not
Yeah, I don't
not
have a
bothering
lot
me.
into multiverses. I know when it first came out, I bought that pack that gave you the free tickets for characters, which I used up most of those tickets at that time. So, there's of course characters I still got unlocked, but I'm not paying for half of the characters that I don't even have unlocked anymore. But like I said, them introducing Raven and bringing Raven into it, I'm like, I want to go play it for a little while at least now.
And
And
I'll remind our viewers that for $60 you get 64 characters roughly, or no, it's like 70 characters with a game called Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
yes,
Another $20 gets you, no, I'm sorry, just 20 or $30 gets you the DLC, and that's another 11 characters.
yep,
So if you're willing to spend 90, 80 or $90, you get up to and including 84 total characters
yes,
with no battle passes, no other stuff
yeah. You
like
don't have
that.
to buy
And you
anything
can have
else.
8 people local and 4 people online. So want to throw it out there. No, you can't be LeBron, although you can create a LeBron me
Me.
fighter. So
Oh, those Mii fighters are so ugly.
now, before we end things, I will also mention that you can also make a Bronny fighter in case you don't want LeBron, you want to go young and go for a son. You can have Bronny. So
Oh
for all those
Lord.
Bronny fans out there, you can make Bronny James. So, and I think Bronny James, we're going to go ahead and call it. I just want to give a huge shout out to our fantastic cast and crew as we sort of had fun with our wild card special, anything and everything. And a huge shout out as well as to you, our audience. Let us know your thoughts about Animal Crossing, quitting video games, Platinum Hunts, Life is Strange, Tears of the Kingdom, LeBron James, Devil and
Pretty
Me,
much
Multiverses,
everything.
Bronny.
Everything.
Let us know. And any parting shots, parting thoughts?
Hmm.
Jamie Ellis,
Mm,
you're up.
Nope, got nothing.
You got nothing?
Pass.
Up she passes.
Pass.
I got nothing.
Really,
Where
Jason?
where
Can we
where's
get?
Simba when we need him?
Yeah, I know. But can we get somebody to mod some kind of game where like all the Nintendo characters just come in and destroy the multiverses game?
Oh, that would be
Uh,
fun.
You get to
I,
be Mario versus like Bugs Bunny.
That would be fun. I would come back if they bring Animaniacs to Multiverse. I might have
It's
to check it
they're
out
supposed to
because
come.
I love Yakko, Echo, and Dot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
maybe
nothing
if
beats
they
them.
added Freakazoid, maybe that would get me there.
Ooh, that'd be a cool one.
We'll
That's
see.
that's that's really an out there choice. I don't know, but
That's
anyway, thank you guys and thank you everybody for joining us, and we hope you have a great day.